There's people who don't know what they're doing. They shorten the tails on them and they're too short. Takes away the style. But
I saw a Springer with it the other day. I thought, oh, it's awful.
the nice thing is now she's learning that she can open up, but she can't take in too much ground. Because watch. Get on there.
Yeah.
Very good, isn't it?
See, I like you before, and you, but with the way sometimes Eddie is, I thought, yeah, maybe if it's a short time, but you need to do it for a long time, don't you?
No, you have to teach them. You have to teach them what you want.
But I think he's working actually well with the
But I don't even have to call her now. I just tap her because she's now knows what tap means. It means come back to me. But she'll stay with the other dogs. Look, I've not tapped her. But what I'm saying is, when I said, look, I just tapped her on purpose. I didn't give the recall. But I've taught the behaviour first. But he used to clear off. Don't clear off no more. Does he need the e-collar? No. But just got to tell him, because he's learnt through association, the same as your dog learnt from you, from being a kennel dog to being a house pet. A fur baby. He went rabbit pen yesterday, right? He hunted that hard in the stinging nettles. He was choking like hell like yesterday. I thought he was having a heart attack on me. I give him some Corona cough medicine. Killed him in about half an hour.
You said that's true when the dog before had a cough.
Yeah, because we normally give Benylene cough medicine. Get on then. Get on. Get on then, girl. See how she sat next to me? Because she didn't want to do wrong. Look, see how she come back? She went to a distance.
I cleaned the dog's ears yesterday, the spaniel, Lily and Eddie, because their ears are filthy, and I got some white, like proper white. I ordered them. They came, Eddie and Lily could stop shaking their heads. I thought, oh God, are they alright with it? Eddie was rubbing his head on the floor.
And so what happens now is they all stay close because they've been conditioned to stay close. But get on then. And as you can see now, Darcy is now part of the gang and enjoying life. Where's here? Where is he? Where is he then? Get on. Where is he? Come on then. Where's? Get in. Where is he? Get on then. Get on.
I haven't taken the dog for a long walk since my grassy.
You don't want to go near grasses if you can help it. I always look for the right fields. Come on, Tafty, what are you doing?
What's it called? Darcy?
Darcy Bustle. After the ballerina.
Yeah, I saw a Springer and it had the same tail as them, and I thought it looked blooming awful. I can understand if I'd accidentally need a tail off.
Okay.
So as you can see,
then.
it's a pleasure now to take Darcy out with the
If you
e-collar,
go down in the woods today,
because she knows when she's got that e-collar on, she's got to behave herself. And if I get dogs into me
Yeah, but, okay, I
that
don't
have
wanna meet
learnt
people.
to not listen, the e-collar is a fantastic tool to
I go
send
to
the
places where
message
there
that I
is
can
nobody
control you
else
at a
skate.
distance.
My
And then the
dogs
dog wants to stay close because I'm
listen to
using
me,
the other dogs as well, look,
and that's why.
as part and parcel of their training. Now,
And,
I want the collar off Darcy.
All right, Raft?
Now, would I say
How
to
come
the
the
owner,
cockers are having a shit, the two of them? Oh,
if you're not going to get those commands 100% every
done
time,
it. He says, if
I
I
would
be a
say
good boy,
use an e-collar,
can
because
go
we've
anywhere.
conditioned the dog on an e-collar. But if you take the time to work with that dog and teach that dog that you have got the control, the same as I've
where
got
were
the
you
control,
going?
then the dog doesn't need the e-collar. But the e-collar is a wonderful tool for somebody who's not willing
Don't
to
look
put the
at
work
Ralph,
into
he's
the
having a
dog,
crap.
the psychology into how you
So,
should be handling the
They
dog.
say about the e-collar,
Because it's really
a horrible
simple,
tool. What's
really.
this?
If I give a command,
What?
it's got to be followed through.
Look at
And
that.
yet, if I take that collar off Darcy
deal.
at this point,
Hey?
Darcy will say,
You wouldn't know
I'll
that
just
dog
push
got
the
an e-collar
boundaries.
on.
She's not
You
daft.
wouldn't know, would you?
But what we're doing
And I didn't call
over
her.
time,
I didn't whistle her.
repetition.
I just tapped because I've
Excuse
conditioned
me.
her, and I'm doing that.
Repetition
because I'm
is
showing
actually
people, but
showing her
as soon as I
what we
whistle
wanted
and
to
tap,
do.
in she comes like
So
a
I can
bolt.
take her in
So
any
I'm conditioning
situation
her
now, comfortably knowing
he was on
that I can
the collar
control her
exactly
if
the same.
things go
He
wrong.
was a bog-off dog.
I'm a professional dog
She was
trainer.
a,
What am I
not
going
where
to
I want to
do
go.
if the dog just
This is
suddenly
good, isn't it?
picks his head up
It's like
and says,
thrillers in a
bye-bye,
mix.
I'm off? Now, that doesn't mean it was doing that with the
You think
owners,
they'd fall in love
because
with you, wouldn't you,
she was
having little
pushing
babies?
boundaries, but when they were calling the dog
bloody
back, the
wouldn't.
dog wasn't coming back until it suited the dog, and
You
she
wouldn't.
still tries that on a little bit if you take
wouldn't.
the collar off at the moment. Where look at Rafa, that conditioning that we've done with Rafa, he doesn't need the collar, and he was a bog-off dog. He was a dog that was only interested in being away from you. Look how she's happy to be with the other dogs, and you can see there's no unbalance there. We've got balance between the dog and the pack, and she's happy to stay in the pack,
How
and
old
she's
do you think
happy
she
to
is?
be out enjoying herself
She's
with
the
the
mother
pack.
to yours.
She could clear off, but
Yeah.
the collar is the golden tool in this environment,
She's,
because
eight.
she knows
She's
that
eight.
I've got control over her,
Yeah, she's not.
and then we're not into a
Andy's
shouting
control.
match. And I was explaining to my daughter here that when I touch the collar, you can't even tell when I'm touching the collar and when I'm not touching the collar. And I very seldom
Yeah.
use the collar in this situation until I was explaining, watch this. If I give the verbal cue, the dog comes back.
Loads of
If I
people
give
have.
the tap, the dog comes back, because I've
Loads of
taken
people
weeks and
have.
weeks now to condition the
Don't know
dog
why.
on the e-collar. And so the dog doesn't see the e-collar as a threat or a punishment.
Oh,
It sees it as an
Gareth's
extension
got a
of
mate
you've
who
got
they went to
control
school in.
at a distance. And that's what it's
Oh,
about.
right.
Look at that little pace on that dog. She's loving life, and yet you're having a quality of life. And that's what I'm saying.
Get on
So
it.
if the owners want to have this dog reacting exactly the same as this, if they go and buy an e-collar and put an e-collar on the dog, they're going to have that control if things go
Yeah.
wrong. And things will go wrong with all dogs, even my dogs. Watch the black and white bitch in a minute. She goes off into the distance, but when I call her back, she comes back. But she takes in too much ground. There she goes.
What?
She's taking in too much ground. Look at her, look. But
Didn't
when I
touch
call her
it.
back, she comes back.
Spaniel
That's
comes
because I
back
conditioned them
automatically.
on the whistle. I conditioned them on the whistle.
Conditioned on the
And she,
whistle.
at one point, she's just pushing
They
boundaries.
took us right down to the creek.
She's a
look.
brood bitch. She's
See that
trained
little
to
ridge?
listen to me. When I ask her to do something, she's got to do it. And she loves the game.
That's why I was coming down here.
At the end of the
Something.
day, all my dogs listen to me because I don't say things 3 or
Go on,
4 times and the dog gets away with it. If I ask them to come back, they've got to
Here we
come
go.
back. And that's important
Good
to me.
girl,
They've got to
good
come back. Look how that
girl.
bitch jumped up at me to say, I'm coming back in. I'm with you. And look how the
And
two
then it's a
cockers
pleasure to take your
are
dogs
with
out
the other
rather
2
than
spaniels. And if anything, the spaniels are taking
not
it, the
listening,
Springer spaniels are taking in
not
more
doing as they're
ground
told.
than the cockers. But what I don't want to do is suppress them so they're at my side. I want that waggy
Okay.
tail,
Come on.
although they haven't got much of a tail. I want that waggy tail. I want people to see that those dogs are
I'm
happy
going to take them swimming
in
now.
the environment, having fun and having a run with other dogs. And it's important. We're moving away from the yard, we're moving away from the battlefield, and we're going
Wiz,
to new places every day
get
with
over.
these dogs now.
Get
And we're
over.
conditioning them that
Get
you've got to
over.
listen to me when you're told. Look how the cockers went over
Get
there
over.
themselves. Look how they are in their nature. The spaniels waited.
Get over,
But
Rover.
that's the nature of the beast. Look,
I'm
and
taking over.
it's nice seeing the difference and letting people see the difference between the Springer Spaniels and the Cocker
Ralph, where are
Spaniels.
you going?
And that's what I
What's this, a fucking
I enjoy
competition in
working
that
all
side?
sorts of gun dogs.
Thank you.
And that's what we do.
In.
It's a lifestyle. It's a passion.
Come here.
And that's what it's about.
Get in.
Anyway,
See?
like I said, this little path down here is a dead end
Come
where the gate
here.
is locked. And I knew it was good to take the dogs down here. We don't get disturbed much. And yet a
Didn't the
car
voice
came down the
change?
lane. And so as they came
Little
down the lane,
Mongie.
a bloke and a woman was in the car. And obviously they were dogging, but they had no dogs. I think they were looking for a quiet spot. We were actually dogging. But that's my daughter with me. Don't you dare say anything, you lot.